What's going on, guys? It's Sensei Adam, and what we're going to be doing today is going over every single showdown hiding spot that you can think of on every single map. The ones that are the best to hide in, that you're usually going to survive a lot longer than all the other spots that you think of. So how we're going to do this is we're just going to hop in some friendly battles, and I'm just going to go on each map, show all the hiding spots that I like, and then just move on to the next map. And I hope with this information, you guys can survive in Showdown a lot longer and gain those trophies a lot faster. So how we're going to do it, guys, is on every single map, we're just going to go from the worst spot, but still viable, to the best spot that I love to take most of the time. Now, starting off with Death Valley, we have this top left bush right here. Now, I usually don't like hiding on this spot. It's usually when I'm really desperate for a hiding spot, because there isn't that many spots to escape, and you're going to be aiming from top down, and that's usually bad. Next up, we have this bush in the bottom right of the map. Now, it's better than the other one because you're aiming up, so you're not going to get the super button in your way, but you still don't have somewhere to hide to when you need to run away. The second best hiding spot is this one. Now, it's one of my personal favorites, especially if I spawn on the right hand side of the map. And that's because there's a lot of spots where you can aim to. Like, if anybody comes from any of these directions, like above you or below you, like this, you can easily just start shooting them, and they're not going to expect you to be here. You can just monitor a bunch of different places at once, and if somebody does come from like the bottom right, you can just escape to the bottom left. And if somebody comes from the other way, you escape the other way. It just works very well. And what I like to do when I'm in this hiding spot is just wait for the fog to get as close as possible, and then I just hop over to the other bush over there. A lot of people don't expect that you're still in that bush, and they'll check this one but then forget about it. So by the time you come over here, you'll have it all to yourself until the map gets really small, and you can just go to the middle and just start shooting. But my favorite spot out of all of them in this map, it's this one, the one on the bottom left of the map. And the reason for that, it's basically a mirror image of the other one, but you're not going to have your super button or your joystick blocking the way. And what you do is stand in on this exact spot right here. You don't want to just go anywhere on it, like right here, because a lot of people just check from the other side of the wall, like where I'm pointing to. Like, they just check there and they can see you if you stand right where I'm at. So you just want to stand right here. And then if they just go next to that wall and don't see anybody, they're just going to assume it's empty and you're going to be safe and sound. And just like the last hiding spot, you don't want to move to the other bush until the smoke gets right next to you. And that's because a lot of people around this time, they're going to start checking the other bush to see if there's people there. But by the time the smoke gets all the way up and you just hop onto the next bush, they're just going to stop checking it for some reason. And what you do is make the transition as much as possible, like here. And you don't want to go into the main area of the bush, like up here. You want to stay in the bottom, because people usually check that big area instead of this bottom like inch. And then after the smoke gets all the way here, you just go to the middle and then start dominating. Now we're on to the next map, Skull Creek. Now on this map, there aren't too many hiding spots that I like, but there is one that's an absolute favorite of mine, and I use it a lot of the time. But let's just get started. Now, one of the ones I use when I'm in a desperate situation, just like the first one on the last map, is this one up here, the one with the L shape. Now this one, it's not the best, but it's still an okay spot if you find yourself stuck up here. Now where I like to stand is right here. But if they start chucking stuff from the middle up there, you just move up here. But like I said, it's not great, because if they do see that you're here and you get double teamed, you're going to be aiming down a lot of the time to your super and joystick button. And that's just not the best. But this spot is also much better than the one to my right, where a lot of people always stay at. Because at least on this one, if like a Barley throws something in this bush, you can move up and then you can still stay hidden, which is what you want to do if you want to avoid getting double teamed. Alright, so if you guys are stuck here on the bottom right side of the map, you don't want to stay over here because there aren't too many bushes that you can hide. So what I like to do is, if there's still space between the lake and this bottom section, I just start moving all the way to the left side of the map, like here. This is what you want to do, and then you want to land in this bush right here. And then this spot is a lot better than the other one because you can hide for a lot longer in that S-shaped bush. But my absolute favorite spot for this map has to be this bush right here. And that's because there's just a lot of space you can run away. Like you can use this area right here to run away. If somebody comes from above down to you, you can just go down and move around these boxes. And you can always see whoever enters that S-shaped bush, because that's where you're going to want to go once the fog gets right next to you. Because here, this bush, almost nobody checks it for some reason. And like I said before, you want to wait until the fog gets as close as possible, so then you move up into that S-shaped bush. Under a normal game, if there is somebody over here, I just start shooting as much as possible. But if there isn't, I just move up into this S bush right here. And then you just want to move up to this edge right here. Normally people aren't going to be around this area by this time, so all I do is this. Just wait as long as possible in this bush, and then you either want to go in this direction or up here. I prefer to go up because it's generally better, but yeah. Our next map is going to be Stormy Plains, but I'm just going to give out this tip right here. You guys don't want to play this map to level up your characters. Like, it's just a bad map. Like, look at this. There's just so many hallways, and there's going to be so many barleys and dynamites, and you can get trapped really easily. Like, I just don't like playing on this map. All the other maps have a better design to level up. But if you do have to play this map, these are the two spots that I like to do. First, it's this bush, because a lot of people go in the middle, like right here, and you can just start shooting when they show up in that area. And usually for some reason they don't expect people to be hiding in this middle bush. So yeah. You can also move to the one that's usually here, but I usually don't like that because I'm going to be aiming down instead of aiming up. Lastly, we also have this spot that's very close to the middle. But it's not an extremely great spot because you're always going to see people passing by through this area. So you're always going to have to move out of the hiding spot. And yeah, like this map doesn't have that many good hiding spots in general. And you can get trapped in some hallways very easily. And last but not least, it's everybody's favorite showdown map, Feast or Famine. Now every spot that I'm going to show on this map is a good spot, but there's just one that I love the most. Firstly, we have this spot on the top left of the map. Now it's not my favorite, but it does do the job. But one thing, you want to come in from up here. You never ever want to come in from down here, because if you come from down here, there's more of a chance somebody's gonna see you who's hiding in the middle going in. So you always want to enter this bush from the above down, because that's just gonna lessen the risk that somebody from the middle, like a Bull or a Shelly, saw you and they're just gonna pop out from the middle and start hitting you. And then, like every single other hiding spot that I like to do, I just wait right at the edge until the smoke gets right next to you. And then what I like to do is just go straight into the middle and hide in one of the corners. Next up, we have a hiding spot that I myself use a lot. And it's this bush right here. Now the reason for it is if somebody does come close to you, you can just start running around in a circle around this little L-shaped wall. But like I said before, you never want to come up like this, because if you do that, like look, a lot more people in the bushes can see you going up than if you come up and down, like from up here and going in. It's just a lot less likely that somebody's gonna see you from inside the bush. And just like before, you just wait for as long as possible until the smoke gets here, and then by this time there's usually just 5 people left, and I just sneak in like here. So I pick a corner and just camp in the corner until the smoke gets even more closer. And last but not least, we have my favorite hiding spot, which is this L-shaped bush right here. And the reason for it, it's so versatile. You can just move around so much. Say if there's somebody in this area right here. If they come down to this area, I just start rushing as fast as possible and start hitting them. They're usually not going to expect you to do that, so it's a very good way to collect some power-ups. But if you think they're too strong, you can just go to this side, and then if you need to run away and they come next to you, you just run towards this direction. It's very easy to escape. And you can also do the same thing to the other side right here. And then you can run away from the other direction from here. And if they come way too close, you can just move back and start shooting, and you can run away the other direction. And then just like all of the ones previously, you stay in it for as long as possible. And then I like to move up to this S-shaped one, and then I move into the middle and then pretend that I'm moving up and then just stand in a corner. But also guys, there's a bunch of spots if you're playing a tank in the middle of the map. Like one of my favorites are these 4 corners just like here. Because if there's somebody behind you, you can just shoot them, and if they come near you, yeah. And these spots are just really good if you need to like regen health really quick, or you're hiding from like Colts that are shooting all over towards the middle. And there's also 2 of those same spots on the other side of the map. So there's this one right here, and then you can just move up here, and here's the last one. And the last one I also forgot that's good in the middle is one of these 4 corners like this. It's good for when you're in the middle, need to regen some health, or you're just trying to hunt people on the outside to get as close to them as possible. But yeah guys, if you enjoyed the content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.